welcome back to Finding Hope in the Valley. If you are new here, welcome. Welcome to my channel. Feel free to look around at some of the other videos that I have posted to kind of get a feel for what this channel is all about, what my mission is, and what I hope to accomplish in posting these videos. If you like what you see, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. That helps get me out into the community and seen by more people that really need this message and the information that I have to share. YouTube is all about algorithms, and so the more people that like, the more people that share, the more people that subscribe gets me put into the algorithm. So I show up more often to strangers and people that might need my channel. Also, if you hit the like and subscribe button, it will tell you when a new video comes out. So if you are liking this content and this material and you're finding it helpful, you are able to then get notifications. If you click on the notification bell, it will give you notifications of when the newest video has come out. As some of you may have known from the video I posted previously, I was in a really bad flare. That was the second one I had in this month, which is February. And so my body was trashed. Having one is bad enough. Having several back-to-back is way worse. With that being said, we have had a very, very trying couple of months with my children's health. They do go to public school, and they are catching and bringing home every single thing that gets listed on the school website. If the school website says RSV's in the building, my kids get it. If the school website says stomach flu's in the building, my kids get it. So we have had non-stop, can't catch a break sickness since October. We've been sick every month since October, twice in January, and now twice in February. We are exhausted. And when you have chronic illness and you put sick children on top of that, and then you catch what your sick children have, that just makes it unbelievably hard. I will say my flare was very, very tough. It was very, very scary. I had to do a lot of self-talk, a lot of telling myself, it's just a flare. Let it ride. Be kind. Be calm to yourself. Rest as much as you can with children. And I had to do a lot of mental talk, a lot of self-mental talk. Because my flares really mess with my mind. Part of my flares, and I still need to get my video up telling you all of the symptoms that I have. And hopefully, I keep saying I'm going to get that up, but life has just been smacking us around like crazy. So I'm hoping to get that video up here in the next day or so. But one of my biggest things that happen when I flare is disorientation. I get a lot of brain fog, and I get a lot of disorientation. The best way that I can describe it is when you wake up from anesthesia after having surgery, or you go to the dentist and they give you some sleepy meds, and you just you're not quite aware of your surroundings. You don't quite feel right in the head or the brain. And you just can't put words and sentences together, and you kind of drift off into space a lot. You have to be very aware of your surroundings, like, okay, I just made myself some soup. Did I shut the stove off? Did I take the pan off the burner? Where are my kids? Are they, close to me so that I can keep a good eye on them, things like that. They always have someone looking after them, but those are things that go through my mind when I go through those deep flares is I need to have all my ducks in a row. I need to make sure my kids have food, drinks, they're, playing happily while I'm, monitoring them from the bed. And I need to just make sure that everything, all their needs are taken care of and all my needs are taken care of. But at the same time, I'm looking out for safety. Things like making sure the stove is turned off. If I go outside to get a package off the front door, making sure the front door is locked behind me. Things of that nature, because we tend to be very absent-minded. And that's what happens, like when you wake up from anesthesia, you're like, where am I? What's going on? Kind of what's happening around me. You get a little panicky, like I can't wake up fully. Am I ever going to wake up fully? That kind of situation. And so last week was brutal, and I was doing a lot of self-talk as well as the week before. So when I have flares, one is really, really bad. But when I flare back to back, it is, I don't know the word I want to use, but it is just insanely brutal. It's so unfair. It's so vile. It's so awful on my body. And my body can't catch a break, and it can't catch up, and it can't get proper nourishment because I'm nauseous, and I can't get enough to drink because I'm, tired and I'm not thinking to drink. And so it's just really, really, and the flares really drain everything I have in my body, which is hardly anything to begin with when you have chronic illness. So having multiple flares back to back is really, really hard on me. But I will say, as hard as it was, as painful as it was, as many tears as I shed, I am so grateful to God that it happened when it did, because my kids got sick again for the second time in February. Like I said, we've been sick every month since October, twice in January, now twice in February. And my kids are catching everything you can catch at school. If I get a notification in the inbox saying RSV is going around, my kids got it. If I get a notification in the inbox saying that the stomach flu is going around, 3 days later, my kid's puking its guts out. So we have tried everything we know, and we are just getting slammed with sickness over here. And when your kids get sickness and you have to hold them and love on them and care for them, what happens to mama? Mama gets sickness. And when you already have chronic illness and flares, and then you catch what your children have on top of it, it is just more than I can bear physically, emotionally, and mentally. It is so hard. But I am very grateful to God that my flares happened when they did, because my kids got really sick. They went down, and this one was brutal, like brutal. I had one of my children were throwing up for 3 straight days nonstop. Went to urgent care twice. And so, and they had just gotten over flu B. They still had the nasty, wet, snotty cough from flu B that we were trying to get rid of. And then they came down with the stomach flu. So, as bad and as painful as those flares were, I am so grateful to God that they happened when they did. It was not that I wanted them, but it was perfect timing, because then I was able to have a little bit of time to recover and then get back on my feet to then help my children who got really, really sick at school. I had one with the throw-ups, plus getting rid of the cough from the previous illness, and then my oldest also went down. Fever, body aches, burny chest, coughing, tons of sneezing. I don't think I've ever seen my child sneeze so much in his life. Like over and over and over and over. That child just sneezed and sneezed and sneezed. That poor thing, his nose is fried, like burnt, completely burnt the upper lip, burnt underneath of his nose. His chest was on fire. Thank goodness it looks like so far we're on the mend. I don't feel so hot today myself, so I'm praying it's mild and in comparison to what my children had. But I've kind of got the little bit of the burny throat, the little congestion in the nose. This morning my stomach was a little sour. So I'm like, okay, we're going to pray this away. We're praying it away. It will not get any bigger and any worse than it already is right now. It's going to stay this level. I can handle this level. So please continue to pray for our family. Pray that my husband doesn't get any of this. One of my children had a very, very mild something. I don't know what it is. It was fever and stuffiness. He was just like super stuffy and a fever, and that was it. Like nothing else. So please pray that he stays what I call unscathed and doesn't go down, because we have just turned the corner on the stomach flu. So it still has a chance to make its way in my house. I've got my windows open. Even when it's 20, 30 degrees outside, we have our clothes on, we're bundled up, and the windows are open. We are doing everything we can to kill these germs, but we just seem to keep going back into the cycle of sickness. Every time I get my kid, he'll go back to school for 1 full week, and the next week he's down again. I'm like, oh my goodness, now what do you have? So I've heard, though, in my area that it is not uncommon. A lot of moms in my area are saying that this is what this year is. And some of them had it last year and a little touch this year. Some are having it really, really bad for the second year in a row. And some are just having their first bad year. So I know it's not just me, which is kind of comforting, kind of sad in a way. But I am very grateful that my flare happened when it did, and that I was able to then be strong enough to help my child make it through 3 days of throwing up. It was brutal. That poor kid he's done throwing up now, but his body is trashed. Just trashed. He's pale. He's tired. He's having a hard time getting back into eating. So we're going to have quite the recovery ahead of us. And from what I gather, the flu this year is not just a 24-hour stomach bug. It's lasting about 3 straight days, and it takes about a week and a half to recover from. So that's pretty sad and pretty brutal. So just wanted to kind of give everybody an update on how I'm doing. Thank everyone for the prayers. Ask that you would continue to please keep the prayers coming. Please, we desperately need them, especially with all this back-to-back sickness. We need some prayers for myself, that I will be able to tolerate some upcoming treatment that I need to try. I'd be brave enough to try it. That's something I'll talk about in another video, is being brave enough to try another treatment. And there are reasons for, I guess, why I've become unbrave, or not so brave, I guess you would say. And I'll go into those in another video, but I need to order some stuff that I need to try. And I would ask that everyone would lift me up in prayer, and prayers for my children and my family, that we would finally turn a corner from all of this sickness and have many weeks of freedom. And that also I would respond very well to the treatment that I am about to start and try. But I just kind of wanted to give everyone an update and thank everyone for their prayers, and ask for continued prayer as I begin a new treatment here soon. Prayers for my children, that they will get stronger with all of the things that we are doing, which is sanitizing and washing and vitamins, probiotics, vitamins, double in the vitamin C, elderberry, zinc, anything I can come up with. So prayers for that, please, because it is very taxing when you're already chronically ill to have to tax yourself more by being up a lot in the night, taking care of a sick child, also catching what they have is very taxing. So just continued prayers, please. And if anyone at all needs prayer, please comment down below. I do read the comments, and I will pray for the prayer requests down below. If anyone has any questions, if you've been on here for the few videos that I've started and have questions regarding some of the things that I posted, post your comments down below. I'm happy to answer them for you in the best way that I can. Hopefully, I know I've been saying this, but hopefully my next video will outline some of my symptoms that go with my chronic illnesses, what a flare looks like, and kind of what some of my day-to-day battles are with my chronic illness. So if you are new here, again, like and subscribe, hit the bell, the little bell icon at the bottom so you get notified anytime I post a new video. It also helps if you like and subscribe to get me into the algorithm so that those suffering with chronic illness or have children or a family member or a spouse with chronic illness can see this video and maybe be helped by it in some way. That's my main reason for making videos, is to help those who are suffering just like me, because when I first started my journey, was all alone. I felt hopeless. I felt discouraged. I felt lost in a very, very dark place. I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know who to talk to. And it was through support groups and help through support groups on Facebook and other places that I gained, I guess, some of my strength to keep fighting, and where I learned more about my illnesses and where I learned that I was not alone. Feeling like you're alone can be one of the worst, most tragic things to have happen to someone with a chronic illness. Suicide is extremely high in people with chronic illness, especially those that do not have a support system. They do not have supportive family. They do not have friends that they can talk to. They do not have a support group that they can go into and say, I'm having a tough day. Help me. What can I do? And so that's why I created this channel. I want to be that supportive place. I want to be that help for someone who feels scared, all alone, feels like this is completely new to them. Chronic illness, or having a chronic illness family or a child is completely all new to them, and they're scared and terrified and they don't know what the future looks like. I want to help you navigate that the best I can with the 15 years of knowledge that I have learned since being diagnosed. It's taken me many years to get a lot of my diagnoses. A lot of times I was just chronically ill and I had no idea what I had. And so that's why I made this channel, is to help others find their feet and to be there when it's extremely dark, extremely scary. I don't know how I would have made it last week without my friends, without my family, without my support system. It was that bad this month with my flares. I don't know how I would have survived if I didn't have someone to talk to. Someone to tell me, okay, let's talk through this. We've been here. We've done this before. It's hard. It's rough. But let's talk it out. Let's talk about what's real, what's irrational. Let's talk about what we know happens after a flare. And let's get you through this. And I literally had someone getting me through minute by minute. Literally minute by minute. And then it was 5 minutes. And then it was 10 minutes. And it was such a huge blessing to me to be able to pick up my phone, make a phone call, and to have someone actually pick up and answer. This person is just as sick as I am. They have a very, very hard time. Being on the phone is very exhausting for them. It's very draining. It's very taxing on their body to have a big, long conversation with someone. They can text once in a while, but it takes everything they have just to have a conversation and not have to take a nap and be physically exhausted from it. But this person answered the phone because they know that if I call, something isn't right. Because I know how bad life is for them, and I know they cannot handle phone calls. So they know when I call, if at all possible, they can do it, pick up the phone. And I am so grateful to have people like that. I have support groups where I can go in and say, I'm not okay. Send me funny things, make me laugh, send me jokes, send me, tell me something funny you did during a brain fog episode, because brain fog is huge in people with chronic illness, and we do some pretty silly stuff. You can take, and put your car keys in the refrigerator, and then you're searching for them for days. You can take your glasses, put them on top of your head like this, and you can be going around searching for your glasses, looking for them for the longest of time, and then they're right there on top of your head. You can use the light on the back of your cell phone. You can actually use the flashlight on the back of your cell phone to help you look under your bed to try to find your phone. I mean, that's how bad it gets. So I can go into my support groups. I can say, I'm not okay. Tell me there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Talk to me. Send me funny things. Make me laugh. And if I didn't have that, I don't know where I'd be. Honestly, I don't. So that's why I have created this channel. And I want to reach as many people as I possibly can. I am also openly Christian. I make no apologies about that. If you are not, that's fine. You are who you are. I am who I am. But I am a very strong Christian praying woman. So if you need prayer and you comment down below that you need prayer, just know you're going to get it. I will pray. If I say I'm going to pray, I'm going to pray. I have a system in place because of the brain fog. I will look and I will see, say Sarah needs prayer. And then I'll walk away and I'll forget and I won't remember. So what I do is I stop and I pray immediately when I see it. And then if God brings you back to my mind later, that's beautiful. And I will pray again. A lot of times I'll write it down, put it in a place where I can see it so that I can pray more than just the one time that I see it down below. So if you ever need prayer, you're going to get it from me. If you ever just want to talk, you just need someone to talk. You're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to make it through today. I don't know how to help my family member who is so sick. I need tips. I need tricks. How do I care for myself when I'm caring for a chronically ill family member? I'm tired myself, but they need me constantly, and I don't know what to do. How do I find a balance? I can help you with that because my husband has been going through this for 15 plus years with me, and it's hard. He's got a lot of burden on his shoulders. He is the best, most wonderful human being you'll ever meet on the face of the planet. When he made those vows, in sickness and in health, for richer, for poor, he meant every single word of it. The minute I got sick, it was, okay, you're down, so what do? I step up. Now it's my turn. I'm working, I'm doing laundry, I'm doing dishes, I'm paying bills, I do stuff. I do what I can. I can fold laundry from the bed, I can make phone calls, I can go online and buy clothes for my children, which is something my husband has no clue what to do. I can, update them in clothing size when summer comes around. and get them all new wardrobe that they need for the upcoming summer, sandals, things like that. I can make the grocery list online. There's a lot I can still do, but it feels very insignificant when you see your husband walking the house after working all day long. You see, you see him doing the dishes and helping the kids get, homework and helping the kids, just making sure they have everything they need for school the next day and putting the food away after it's been made and making sure they've had enough to eat. And, I feel some days what I do from this bed doesn't feel enough. It feels so insignificant and it feels like this, like a drop in a bucket compared to what my husband does, which is this. But my husband tells me all the time, oh, I know how to buy them clothes. I wouldn't even begin to know what to look at, where to shop, how to get a good deal, what size they wear. He said that's invaluable, I mean, stuff that you bring to the table that I couldn't do. So he is so good to me, so good to me, and I know a lot of people don't have it. I have some very, very close friends, very near and dear to my heart, close friends that don't have what I have, and I it just kills me inside. If anything makes me cry more, that makes me cry. And so I try to be the biggest, most upbeat cheerleader for them that I can possibly be, because I know what chronic illness does to the brain and the mind, especially when you don't have a support system. If you are new here, you will find that my videos are raw. They're unedited. You get what you get. I don't come on here. I don't put makeup on my face to make me look like Kim Kardashian or any of those other famous people that puts out videos. You're lucky if I can run a brush through my hair and I'm not still in my pajamas. Because this is real life chronic illness. This is what real life chronic illness looks like. Okay? I washed my hair yesterday, put it in a braid. Took the braid out for the video, put on a clean shirt. That's it. This is it. This is all the strength I had was to do that. And, do I miss getting dressed up? Of course I do. Do I miss makeup? Of course I do. Do I miss styling my hair? I have naturally beautiful, naturally curly hair. I can't bring out the curls. It takes too much work. I miss all of that. I would love to have nothing more than a Kim Kardashian look, beautiful clothes and my makeup and hair done, but it's just not reality with chronic illness. And I'm not going to sugarcoat chronic illness. I'm not. This is what chronic illness looks like. And more people need to understand what chronic illness looks like and how it affects the body, how it affects their family members, their children, those around them. Because if you don't truly get what chronic illness looks like, you'll never have compassion. You'll never have kindness. You'll never know how to help, how to reach out properly. If you're expecting them to just look like this today, but tomorrow have some makeup and some hair done and expect that they're, oh, you did your makeup today. Oh, you got your hair done. You must be better. No, it doesn't work that way. Maybe they had a little more strength that day. And that's a beautiful, wonderful thing. And so they were able to put on some makeup. They were able to do their hair. They were able to get dressed. And they look really pretty. But it doesn't mean they're healed. It just means that day they had a little bit more strength than the day before. And a lot of people get that confused. They're like, oh, you look so good. You must be feeling wonderful. That's a great compliment. But in some ways it kind of hurts too, because we had just a little bit more strength today to make ourselves look a little bit better than yesterday, but we're still suffering on a day-to-day basis. Are some days better than others? Absolutely. Are some days worse than others? Most definitely. So I just want people to be aware of what chronic illness really is and what it really looks like. And you're going to see pajama days. You're going to see days like my last video where I was crying and I looked absolutely horrendous. You're going to see a day like today where I took my hair out of a braid It's got a little bit of a wave to it. I was able to change my shirt, and I don't look as scary as I did last week. And praise God for that. I had just a little bit more strength today than I did in the last video. So, this is chronic illness. My videos, again, are raw. They're unedited. You're probably going to sometimes hear my kids playing in the background, screaming, yelling, making noise. I'm not an editor. I can barely make these videos, but I know that's what I'm called to do. And so that's what I do. I obey what God has called me to do, and I make these videos, and He gives me the strength to do so. And so you're going to hear my kids running around screaming. I'm not an editor. I don't know how to edit videos. You'll see, my kids pop in from time to time, and you'll hear a mom, 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 and, it just is what it is. But right now, my kids are recovering from sickness, so they are laying on the couch watching TV at the moment, so it's nice and quiet. It's not always going to be like this. So, just so you know, these are raw. They are unedited. You get what you get videos. Thanks again for coming along on this journey with me. I hope it was helpful to you, this video today. I hope that you will hit the like and subscribe button down below and share. Share with someone who you think might need just a little bit more, encouragement and a little bit more help along the way as they go on this, what feels a lot of times like a very, very dark journey. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. We had a little bit of snow yesterday, and today's bitter cold, but the sun is out. So thank goodness for sunshine.